What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Real Combat, the ultimate debate show for movie lovers, where two movie fans come on and they go head to head and try and get me to watch their movie. Who is going to win? We don't know, but we have two very special guests who have been on the show before. Mr. Tim Forbes.
Woo!
Mr. Dan Gowell. And they are going head to head. And not only is this a special event because they are two men, but they're also brothers, and we're going to go crazy with this one because I can't wait to see it. Last time they went head-to-head, Tim won with Dracula Has Risen from the Grave. And tonight we're going to see what happens. Maybe Dan will win. Who's going to be in our Tournament of Champions? Who knows? But this is a very special episode. It is our Christmas episode. So everything Christmas, we're going on. This is the last night for the Scene Snobs before we go on a 2-week vacation. All you'll get is our New Year's Eve show. So enjoy this, and we'll be back after the new year. But before we get into talking to everybody, I need to introduce the movies. Dan, I'm going to start with you, sir. What is your movie of choice tonight?
I have a big surprise. So I was introduced to this film one day when I was homesick, like my junior year of high school. And it was on MST3K, so prepare for a doozy. 1959's Santa Claus versus the Devil.
The Devil? Oh, you threw... Oh, everybody, this is a surprise because I thought you were going to go Santa Claus versus the Martians.
I thought it was one of the two. I had a pretty good idea.
I have never seen Santa Claus versus the Devil. I do know it. I did see Santa Claus versus the Martians, so now I'm very excited to see what happens here. Okay, but Tim, right before we started the show, you were talking about how you had seen your movie 30 times, so it got me very intrigued to know what this is. Tim, what is your movie of choice tonight?
My movie of choice is none other than Bad Santa.
Ooh.
Because it is amazing and it cannot be beat. And I will get you there pretty quickly.
Well, I have seen Bad Santa, and it is a classic in my opinion. So here it goes, everybody. You have a bad Santa, and you have a Santa going head-to-head with bad and evil. So let's see who's going to win. You know how this starts. The older movie always starts first. So, Dan, that goes to you. But before we get started, remember, everybody, 4 rounds. Let's get it going.
Round 1, fight!
Dan, please proceed.
1959 Santa Claus versus the Devil. You have outer space Santa. Tech that would make the NSA jealous. He is tuning in on kids around the world from none other than outer space. Pitch, this crazy demon that the devil sends to the earth, goes around and tries to get these kids to commit bad things. And if he fails, he has to eat chocolate ice cream, which I think is bizarre. There is some absolutely batshit dream sequences, stuff that you could only come up with in a David Lynchian type universe. Merlin helps Santa win. Like the wizard Merlin helps Santa beat this pitch demon that looks like Dave Grohl in the Tenacious D videos, honestly. I'm pretty sure it's suggesting that if you want to defeat the devil, you have to pee on him. Like, I'm not joking about that. And there's more Catholic propaganda than anything you've ever seen, despite Merlin being in it. It's a doozy.
Merlin. Oh, my. I'm going to tell you right now, we're just getting started. And, Tim, you picked a great one. But Merlin may have you guys going up in the Tournament of Champions here. Because so far, so good. But I can't wait to hear your argument because last time you were on the show, you were a hell of an arguer, sir. And the time is yours, Mr. Forbes.
All right. What if I told you that I could give you a movie with a great message, with a great cast, with not only John Ritter in one of his last movies, but also Bernie Mac in one of his last movies? And it's produced by the Coen brothers. Bad Santa, I mean, it's really just great from not only a redemption, but also the music in that movie is really good. If you notice, they have all the holiday classics and they're all used really well. The opening monologue brings you in, and you'll notice also that there's an ending monologue, which is very important because there's 2 very big tone shifts, which I think is very interesting. It kind of shows a real journey throughout the entire film of you start out really, disliking this individual or thinking that he's this terrible person, but then you realize that everyone has some goodness in them, and it takes a little bit, maybe a little happiness, maybe a little bit of unbridled, love to bring them there. But I mean, it really does come to that. And I think that's what the holidays are all about.
I gave you a little extra time on that one, but I gave you both a little extra time, so it's okay. But that was a good argument. You see, here's the thing, everybody. It is the Christmas special, and I have been too far behind on my Christmas movies this year, and I don't know what to watch tonight. I know that Bad Santa is one that I always try to watch every year, but man, Merlin and Santa going up against the devil, it's getting crazy in here. But we're going to go on to round 2, and that is, what is your movie's influence on audiences? Now, this may be very one-sided. I don't know, but I'm sure Dan is ready. But here we go. Tim, you're going to start us off on this one.
Round 2, fight.
All right, so influence. I think this started kind of a trend of what I would call black comedy Christmas. Before this, I feel like there was a lot of, very, very, warm-hearted Christmas or, Hallmark Christmas, that kind of thing. Whereas, you had Gremlins, which is a little dark, but it's supernatural. And then you have 8 Crazy Nights, which is animated. This was one of the first real Christmas movies, I think, outside of, the horror genre that went in a dark direction with a good redemption story and dark comedy without being supernatural in any way. And I think you see a lot of movies that took influence from that later on. Now, it is very 2000s comedy. It's just very different than now, but I think you start to see a trend, which I think you start to see even more with Krampus and other movies that come later. So I don't know if it's like a hugely, influential movie, but I do think it did change kind of the direction of what you could see a Christmas movie being and what message it can deliver, even in a very raunchy, comedy sense.
Wow. Right on time. 1 minute. You are set. Man, Tim, you never cease to amaze me. And your brother as well. So I can't wait to hear his argument. Dan the Man, the floor is yours.
Influence-wise, this film was made in Mexico. And you can't say that about a lot of movies. And it's Mexico bringing Christmas to the United States. So here's what's really interesting about it. In 1960, it was so popular in Mexico that they redubbed it with English to bring it to the United States. And it's weird because it was dubbed in like a really cheap version. Like, forget the 70s and 80s Italian movies where it was like actually kind of higher budget dubbing. The dubbing on this is like, it's exactly what you expect from a monaural movie. Let's put it that way. But despite that, it has a cult following in the 1960s because it was shown in low budget, like feature film places that also showed pornos. So it's not very Christmassy, but the movie itself is. That's the only way they could bring it to the United States. Pretty tough to beat.
Time. Very good. Gentlemen, that's a hell of a first 2 rounds right there. You guys are really putting on the arguments. This is why I love having you guys on the show, especially because you come prepared. You know what you're going to say. You have your movies ready to go, and you're excellent debaters. Now, before we get started, I want to talk to you guys a little bit. I like spending a little bit of time with you, hanging out. It's a Christmas episode. So you guys, before we go on about the movies that you did choose, let's talk about a couple of other movies. You're big horror fans. But before we get there, what are your favorite Christmas movies just in general?
Honestly, Bad Santa and Tim and I both love that because it's like, for us, it brings us back to our childhood. We watched it with Tim's dad.
Hey, don't let him steal. Hey, that's the 3rd round. Don't let him steal my 3rd round.
Okay. We'll get off that. How about your favorite horror Christmas movie?
I originally was going to pick Treevenge, but I didn't know if the audience could handle it. Treevenge is a little bit over the top and involves a little bit of the ultra violence. It's only 45 minutes long.
Yeah. I don't care about this audience. You come to me. I'm the one you got to convince. Screw the audience. We love you. But this come to me. So you say Treevenge. That's okay. And I think, actually, before, Tim, you answer, I do want to put out Treevenge is a lot of fun. It is a bonkers movie. And I think everybody, especially if you're a horror fan, check it out. But it is a funny horror comedy. Tim, I'm anxious to hear what your favorite horror Christmas movie is.
So, I mean, it's tough, right? I mean, I think it's probably Gremlins. I mean, it's just such a classic. And like, I mean, you get into a lot of the scenes of like, again, it's, it has that part about the individual that doesn't like Christmas. And you don't see that in a lot of movies where everyone's like, well, I don't like Christmas and here's why I don't like it. And hers is a really tragic story. But I mean, there are a lot of people where this is a very tough time of the year for them. And I do think that movie hits it pretty hard. But it also just has a ton of Christmas fun, right? Like the dogs hanging from Christmas lights, right? I mean, Black Christmas is amazing. Now, one I did just recently watch was the Abominable Snowman of the Himalayas. And that's 50s horror or a Hammer with a young Peter Cushing. And not exactly Christmas, but very, snow. And, The Thing is also up there for me for Christmas, because it's cold and it's fun to watch. I usually watch it after Christmas when it gets a bit colder here in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
But that's another one that's up there. I mean, there's so many. I mean, I could name just a lot of Christmas horror. I mean, we've watched like 4 or 5 different ones on Sunday Scares this recently, but
Yes.
there's a lot. This is my first year watching Krampus, and I really liked Krampus. The gingerbread men were hilarious. This is my first time watching that movie all the way through.
It's
I had seen references to it.
very cool, twisted characters in that.
Yeah, they did a lot of unique stuff, and I'm not a big CGI guy, but I think they mixed it really well in that one. I think that was pretty good.
How about you, Danny? Are you a Krampus fan?
I love it. I'm Blu-ray. I watch it Christmas Eve every year with my father-in-law. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There's also the scene in I think it's Tales from the Crypt, I believe, in the Amicus horror where they do the mom who's killed dad, and then the Santa Claus comes and the kid lets Santa Claus in and kills her. That's
actually one. I want to say the 4th episode or something like that. Second.
The first episode ever was William Sadler's episode where he plays the executioner in the prison who gets fired.
Right, yeah.
And then he goes off killing people. And then he gets put in the executioner.
And then the second one was the Christmas one, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it was pretty early episodes, really good episodes too. So solid choices, guys. So let me ask, just to kind of get in the Christmas spirit a little bit more. What do you guys want most for Christmas this year? And don't give me that world peace stuff. All right, so goodwill towards men. We all want that. Get it out of there. I want to hear some materialistic things. What was some things you like for Christmas under the tree?
You can go first, Tim.
Oh, I don't know. God, I feel like I generally grab the things that I want. Like I don't have a lot of big material things. I mean, not world peace by any means, but I'd like to go to shows and stuff again. I think that's the thing I'd want the most. Is my wife and I have always been show buyers. And so like it's like, oh, we go see things that we've really wanted to see, or that we'd pony up some extra money to get closer up and things like that. So I mean, I would, like things to calm down around here enough where I feel, good enough to go and watch a show next to people and stuff like that. So I think that's really it. I don't have a lot of material things. Like I bought some, rare movies recently with some money that my mom gave me for Christmas. So that was fun. But not a lot of material things under the tree, just more of the, good performances and stuff I can go see and feel good going to them.
Nice. I love
what
that.
Tim actually wants for Christmas is what I bought him for Christmas.
Well, we'll see.
He doesn't even know he wants it. He doesn't even know.
Dan already knows his big gift. He wouldn't crack it open when we did our Christmas with
no, because I want to
mom
open
early.
Christmas.
My goodness.
What's funny is like Timmy mentioned it, booze. Like I love Christmas season because everybody's like, now here's this alcohol that you didn't buy for yourself, and I'm like,
that's
as long as it's good, right?
Oh yeah,
get like the like 6-pack of like okay craft beer.
I'm not even gonna hate on that though, because like honestly, the best part about giving gifts and getting gifts, I feel like it's a litmus test for how well people know each other.
Yeah,
that's what I say about like Tim and I all the time. It's like we kind of know what each other wants or likes, and it's really, that's what really is revealed is like how much you're into it versus how much you know somebody, and it's always like that's it. The most exciting part. I love watching somebody open a gift that I hit right on the nail, and like that's the best part, man.
It really is, and as much as I joke about the materialistic side of things, it is so much fun to watch people you care about open up some fun gifts. And I want to thank you guys again for coming on the show. Before we get into the next one, the next round, I'm going to ask you each one question. It's the same question. Tim, Die Hard, Christmas movie or not?
I've come around on it. I've watched it a couple of years in a row now with my father-in-law. It seems it always comes on. I think it's a Christmas movie. It has enough Christmas in it. It's on Christmas Day. It's got the family elements to it. I'll give it a Christmas movie. It's an action movie. But I would call it more of an action movie with Christmas in it. But people love it enough, and they've made it a Christmas movie, and they made it part of their tradition. So why not? It's Christmas.
Very fair. Dan, how about you? Same question.
Man, fuck tradition. It's not a Christmas movie. No way is that a Christmas. There's no snow. Come on.
There's no snow in LA.
There's never snow in California for Christmas.
That's what I'm saying. How can you have a Christmas movie in California?
They have Christmas all over the world without snow, buddy.
Not Christmas movie.
Christmas in Arizona every year. It happens.
No, right. I don't believe it. I don't see it. I'll drink
Christmas
that.
In Vegas always occurs.
I love it. All right, we're going on to round 3, and this is getting heated, so the rebuttals part is going to be a lot of fun. And Dan, you are going to kick us off with this one. What is your rebuttal to everything Tim has said so far? Go ahead, sir.
Round 3.
Great message in Timmy's movie and everything. It's phenomenal. However, better message in my movie because the kids decide on their own. Because the biggest thing is Santa can't come to Earth until Christmas Eve. Santa can't come till Christmas Eve. So the kids decide on their own, and that's how they beat the devil. The kids themselves beat the devil. And then Santa actually, Merlin shoots him with a hose. That's what I said about the pee thing. But the kids choose. And you have this whole thing, this whole steampunk thing that's on the tech side. I'll be honest, Bad Santa's amazing, but it doesn't do anything new. When else can you see Santa beat up the devil? Come on, man. It's amazing. That's there's my rebuttal. It's something that nobody's seen before. And that's why it's awesome.
All right. I love it. Tim, my friend, you are up next. What's your rebuttal to everything Dan has said?
Something no one's ever seen before. Santa pisses himself in that movie on his throne. Now, don't tell me that is not something that anyone's ever seen before. Driving over bottles, beer cans falling out of Santa's, Santa swearing at individuals while he's on his lunch break. That's Thurman Merman. Have we seen Thurman Merman before? Have we seen a bloody wooden pickle before? I don't think so. I think these are all very different things. Now, a rebuttal to Dan's movie. I've seen this movie. It's fine. If you haven't seen it, you probably should because it's worth it. Definitely watch the Mystery Science Theater version. Please watch the Mystery Science Theater version. But the story is interesting about how it came and how it's produced. But I think my movie is overall a better movie. And I think if it's going to get you in the Christmas spirit, I really think my movie is the better movie to get you in the true spirit of Christmas versus Dan's movie, which is about someone who from Mexico who kind of understands Christmas, but really it's kind of Santa. There's not a lot of Christmas actually in that movie if you pay attention.
Time. I had to let that one go a little bit because it was just, by the minute mark, it was just okay, I need to hear more. All right, gentlemen, this is the final round, and this is the round that usually makes or breaks it for everybody. What is your personal connection to the movie? This is round 4. Tim, you're going to start us off.
Round 4.
Well, Dan and I are brothers, so he knows, and he kind of mentioned it, right? We've had some family members that are a little rough around the edges during the holidays, and for whatever reason, this really just reminds us of that, but also reminds it of the good that those people can have in their own very strange ways, right? It's not that the individuals don't care, and it's not, it's just that, sometimes the holidays can be tough on people, but somehow, some way they can show, what good people they are and how they really care for you in odd ways, right? The end of this movie, right? It's the kid got him a, wooden pickle that he, carved poorly and he bled on. And so he gets him the, pink elephant that he really wanted. And he's like, it's fucking Christmas and the kid's getting his present, right? He's going to get it. And he, outruns the cops and runs to the front door and gets shot in the back. to get this kid his present. And then at the end in the monologue, I don't want to spoil all of it, but I mean, he says, you know, your present had blood on it, but mine did too. So I guess the blood isn't really a big deal, right? So it's just that whole like weird, odd, you know, Christmas happens for different people in different ways, but even, you know, the smallest gesture can make the biggest deal. And I think that's what I really felt like. I don't know, it just oddly connects with me in the holidays, and maybe to other people who maybe don't connect as well because of the absurdist. But if you really pay attention to that movie, it's a redemption story, and I really love it.
Oh, that's beautiful, man. And I had to let that one go, everybody, because it's such a touching story, and I need to hear this. And it's Christmas, and you will listen to, audience. Dan the Man, what is your personal connection to Santa versus the Devil?
Well, there's no like historical one other than the fact that I was skipping school basically in 11th grade and saw it on MST. However, watching it, it's going to take you, let me put you in a DeLorean real quick. Let me take Mick back to 5 years old, back to the 1980s where everything is wood in the universe, and you're sitting in front of the TV watching those claymation movies like we all did, right? Well, how about a live action version of those claymation movies? It's got musical numbers. It's got weird dream sequences. It's got the steampunk tech side that looks like it like is futuristic, but it really isn't. It's got the whole package, and you'll be 5 years old sitting in your onesie, eating your cereal, like waiting to open your gifts in no time while you're watching this film. And that's where I found myself when I rewatched it. I've watched it twice since I picked it. I think it is a throwback among throwbacks among throwbacks. And if you want to feel five again, you'll choose 1959 Santa Claus versus the Devil.
Guys, pulling at the heartstrings here. You pulled out a DeLorean. You knew it. Dan was like, big guns here. That was touching.
Well, Tim got to go like the family room, man. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, but you pulled it off. You were like, hey, DeLorean, and it's just like all of a sudden, like I was in 1985. All right, this is a hell of an argument, and it's Christmas time, and I believe that family and friends and everything else should come together and not be torn apart. But that's not what this show is. It's real combat. So we're going to tear them apart by bringing them back together, because clearly the winner of this movie has to be Santa versus the Devil.
Yeah.
And that means we're going to have to go to a third tiebreaker episode. But that's down the line. That's neither here nor there. That's back at another point in time for bragging rights. Reason I chose the movie is Pet Santa is a fantastic movie, and I am going to watch it. And it's funny, and everything you said about it, Tim, there is a lot of heartfelt feeling and quality to that movie that makes it a really perfect Christmas movie. But also a lot of really fun dark comedy, and John Ritter and Bernie Mac were big selling points on that, especially John Ritter, in my opinion.
Yeah, John Ritter's amazing in that movie for exactly the reason he needs to be. He's cheesy, and he's so squirmy the whole movie. It's great.
Every single time I've seen him on screen, I've just that guy makes you fall in love with him. Even in his most dramatic role of Sling Blade. But he was always that guy. But,
Buffy's stepdad.
Oh my God! That was tough. That was a tough one.
Yeah.
But he was still John Ritter, because even on Scrubs he was like a terrible dad.
Yeah,
but he was still John Ritter.
It was believable. But it was believable.
The reason I had to go Santa versus the Devil is because I've never seen it, and it was a hell of a sell. And I know I'm going to watch Bad Santa, but I'm like, I need to watch Santa versus the Devil. And it's almost like a mirror to the Halloween episode you guys were on. And I picked Dracula Has Risen from the Grave because I had never seen it. And it was like, yeah, but this sounds pretty awesome. This sounds like it's wild.
It is a very fun movie. I will say too, not to plug anything for myself, but Monster Kid Radio, I don't know what episode it is, but they did an episode on Santa versus Satan, and it's like an hour long, right? So it gets into a lot of the detail that Dan was talking about how it was produced, how it actually made its way over to the U.S. It's a really interesting story. not exactly, like I said, it's not exactly a Christmas movie in the same way. It's kind of, a Mexican's take on what American Christmas might sell. It is really
pretty global though.
Yeah, it is. It is very global, but
Yeah.
it is a very interesting movie, and Mexican horror and in cinema in general is something that's really interesting. That if people dig into it, it's really interesting. The Santos, Mexican luchadora horror movies are really cool and stuff, and that's stuff a lot of people have seen. And kind of this comes into the same vein. It has that same similar charm.
And that's why I think when you had said it, I was thinking those lucha movies were always a lot of fun for me. Especially when they brought vampires into the mix and such. And I've seen Santa versus the Martians. I don't know if it's along the same lines of where it was being made, but this is a movie I really feel like I can, have a lot of fun with. Both movies I can have a lot of fun with, but like Santa versus Satan, like that's pretty rad. That's so different. And then I will immediately watch Santa versus Jesus in the South Park episode from 25 years ago.
Yeah, I forgot.
Happy Tree Friends.
That's what I should have said.
I love it. I can't wait. And again, I'm going to watch both these movies. Truly fantastic choices. I appreciate you guys coming on tonight. Always love having you. And, the funny thing is, anybody who hasn't checked out the Scene Snobs podcast from last night, the guys were on. So have a lot of fun. Go back and check that out. We had a great time. It was a really good Christmas party special that we did. So you can check that out on the Scene Snobs YouTube channel or any podcast platform. Go to thescenesnobs.com for links. That's my pitch. Real Combat, of course. This is the last episode of the Scene Snobs Anything, except for our New Year's episode, which will air New Year's Eve. But we are on vacation until January, so guys, make sure you jump in. But if you follow us on social media, we will be posting every day. It's going to be a lot of fun, so make sure to check that out. Tim, Dan, thank you so much, my friends. Merry Christmas to you and your families, and I hope you guys have just a awesome time and get everything that you want. More, you deserve it. And of course, again, everybody, Merry Christmas to all of you. I love you guys. I appreciate all your support, everything. If you want more of the Scene Snobs, just go check out thescenesnobs.com. It's all there. Or check out the end credits. It'll tell you where to go. All right. Thanks, everybody. I am, of course, McManhattan.
Merry Christmas.
And I appreciate you. Take care. Merry Christmas, everybody. That's right, Dan. That's a great one. Thanks for watching and listening, everybody. I'm the Scene Snob, Mick Manhattan. You can check out the Scene Snobs podcast live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube channel or all podcast platforms afterwards. Also on our YouTube channel, you can check out great shows like Real Combat, the ultimate debate show for movie lovers, mixed movie picks with new recommendations every week, Geek Fest Live every Sunday night, and new movie reviews and news all the time. Like and subscribe, then hit the notification bell so you know when all of our new episodes drop. Thank you so much to all of our amazing Patreon supporters, with whom this would not be possible. They help keep the lights on and support us in such big ways. If you would like to become a supporter on our Patreon and take advantage of all the perks like monthly giveaways, early access, and so much more, head on over to the Scene Snobs Patreon page and just sign up on one of our 2 tiers. Join our awesome community of geeks, movie lovers, and so much more, and join up on our Discord. The Scene Snobs Discord is now live, and you can head over to thescenesnobs.com for links to there and more. The Scene Snobs merch store is now open with original fun designs that are available on all different types of merch and apparel. Check out thescenesnobsmerch.com. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to all of our social media accounts like TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and so many more. We have fun updates, topics, we talk about collectibles, and so much more on there. It's a great time. You can find all of our links to everything on thescenesnobs.com or on our link tree, which are down in the descriptions below. Thanks again, everyone. Stay tuned and stay geeky.